This is your February 2019 general reading. I hope you guys are well. For February, as usual, I'm using the spiral deck for your basic layout. And for clarifiers this month, I'm using this cute little tarot deck called the Wildwood Tarot. I've used this before. You may have remembered if you've been watching me for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and show you your basic layout cards, and then I'll get started. Hopefully, it looks as though February is treating you pretty good, in my opinion anyway. So your general central focus for February is Lady Justice. Your challenge, that definitely looks like a challenge to me, is the Seven of Swords. What is helping you is the Two of Cups. Very nice. Just to warn you, I've got you on kind of a wobbly table, so I can't really help it. I'm kind of physical with my hands, so I'll try to keep it on a low wobble. So at your root or core of your being, you have the Ace of Cups. In the recent past, you have the Five of Cups. Your best possible outcome is the King of Cups. You have quite a bit of cups in here. Coming up for you in the future, you have Strength. You right now are the Seven of Pentacles. In your surroundings, you have the Nine of Swords. Your hopes are for the Chariot. And your general outcome is pretty powerful. You have the World. So, okay, this one seems pretty clear to me. So hopefully it won't take us too long to get through it. Sometimes with these readings, there's a lot of intricacies. Other times it's pretty clear and straightforward. So here we go. As your central focus for February, to me it feels as though you're having a huge shift occur this month for the positive. You are, I'm just going to throw these things out here. It could be that for some of you, you have recently experienced some kind of a horrible injustice, or have felt knocked off balance by someone being cruel or not who they seem to be. But you're at a point now where you're realizing that that is over now, or you will no longer tolerate that now. What you want now is positive energy, which is the star here. This is the pole star. It just looks really lovely. It looks as though any confusion or any pardon me for saying so, but I'm getting the word resentment or resentments. Justly felt resentments. Possibly you've been through something where you feel like you were treated extremely unfairly. But it looks as though things outwardly for you are changing dramatically, where you're realizing that that is over now. And now you're determined to stay focused on positive energy and only allowing, well, I can't say only allowing positive energy in, because that's not really humanly possible if you're going to live your life. But not to let it in too far, to be able to see things clearly enough to let in what you want and to keep at bay or at a certain distance things that do not fall in line with this. With this combination, I'm getting an extreme feeling of peace. of peace of mind, peace of, what's the word? Peace of conscience. I think even if before you had some weird feelings of doubt that maybe you had some part to play in this, you're realizing now that your conscience is clean, or you want your conscience to be clean. I know it sounds really strange, but that's what I'm getting. Where you can clear away the old stuff and have a clean slate for beauty to be able to come in. I feel as though you have fully comprehended now that saying, what you put out, you get back, which is Lady Justice here. This is karma. Not necessarily saying bad karma or good karma, just karma. What you put out, you get back. As you sow, you shall reap. Have you been acting in integrity? If for some of you, you haven't been acting completely in integrity, or if you've had people around you not acting in integrity, it looks as though you have decided that you're going to focus on integrity. And from here on out, you fully recognize the law of attraction, of what you think about, what you focus on, how you see things is what you end up manifesting. And I feel as though you fully comprehend that now. Not to say that you've been acting out of integrity or you've been somehow unfair, but I feel as though you've gotten really clean and sharp with yourself about what you will allow in and what you won't allow in, and how you want to behave and how you don't want to behave, and what you want to focus on and what you don't want to focus on. And this is bringing you immediate results. It looks as if you're feeling more positive, more hopeful, more open. Things are opening up for you. Your perceptions are opening up. Your mind is broadening. How you see things is broadening. And that's giving you a real sense of positive peace in that good things are to come because of this. You've gotten really clear about what you want and what you hope for, or what you wish for, and that you need to focus on that if you're going to bring it into being or into your life more. So, looks really nice to me. Your challenge. You have the Seven of Swords in with the Seven of Cups, which in this is called mourning. This could be just a general feeling that you've been struggling with, but this could also be the aftermath of something that has happened to you. If this did have to do with love or relationships, it could be that you have recently been betrayed, or you feel as though someone has been hiding their feelings from you. I'm getting something really specific in here for someone that you feel as though the person led you on, or led you to believe that you were the person for them, but you realized that they were hiding the fact that they had a whole lot of options and that they weren't decided on you, even though they acted like it. I don't know who that's for, but that's for someone. This, if that is you, this has caused you a great deal of pain and disillusionment and mourning, of having to mourn the loss of your dream concerning this person or what you thought was happening. For the majority of you that is not going on for, it's something akin to that, just more broad. It's like you have realized that you carry a certain amount of sadness within yourself that just comes from people not being truthful about where they're actually really coming from or who they really are, of things deliberately not being clear, or even being shielded or fooled, being fooled by something that you thought was true but it wasn't. Or you feel as though perhaps you have been hiding how you feel, and you haven't been opening up about how confused you truly really are about what you're trying to do, or how you feel, or who you are. Something about this has become a challenge. If this is healing or mourning the loss of trust, which I'm definitely getting from this, trust even in yourself possibly, or trust in others, lost trust, mistrust even. It could be that you're battling with mistrust because of past things that have happened to you that were somehow shattering, or you felt disillusioned. This is your challenge in reconciling and releasing this, to release this so that you do not manifest it again. And whatever this wasn't meant to be in your life in the first place. Keep in mind that this is where you're at now, but I can see how this would be hard to let go of. In order to reach where you want to be, or where you already are, you need to exercise this last little bit of grief and let this go entirely, because you don't want to manifest this again. And you certainly don't want to be focusing on this. What is helping you? For some of you, you may be in love with someone, or you may have a really amazing partnership with someone. And with the Two of Cups here, you have the ancestor. So if I read this in a broad way that didn't have to do with relationships necessarily, this is saying to remember the core values that possibly your ancestors or family members taught you. Like, even if you come from a family where there's a lot of trauma or a lot of upsets, or you're not connected to your family, I'm talking about the broad essence of what you would consider an ancestor. This card, the ancestor, is normally considered the Hierophant in most decks. This is the wise self within, and this is the wise elder, or the wise self without. It's within and without. This could even be proposing or getting married for someone. But that aside, I'm getting something rather specific. I'm going to try to word it in the right way on what I'm getting, but what I'm getting is, okay, I'm going to try this again. What I'm basically getting here is that your guides, your ancestral spirits, your wise self within wants you to focus on the alliances that you have that feel like soulmates, or feel as though you see eye to eye and easily understand each other. The alliances that really matter, instead of alliances that don't matter, which I'm reading as this. This was an alliance that didn't matter. Or that your ancestors were shaking their heads in the corner going, oh my God, I can't believe that they're associating with that person. That isn't how I taught them, or that isn't what I want for them. They want to see you with someone who respects you, someone who is respectful with you, that admires you, that honors you, that appreciates you, that you communicate easily with, and someone that you can respect, someone that you feel respectful of, someone that you can admire. It's mutual admiration and respect here. To have a real relationship, and I don't necessarily mean a romantic one, although that can be an aspect of this. But I mean true relationship, true relating with other people. This is what is helping you, is to maintain and give your energy to the relationships where there are mutual respect and mutual admiration, or mutual care. This is what's helping you, is to have high standards. And by high standards, I don't mean too high. I just mean high standards about what you deserve as far as who you align your energy with. This can also be saying that you are about to meet, or you have met, or you have been with someone that you truly do respect, and they respect you. And it looks as if you're deciding to entwine with each other more than you did before. You may be banding together a little bit tighter than before, or creating more together than you did before. Deciding to tie the knot, or deciding to get married, or deciding to move in together, or something. If this is a person that you're involved with, your ancestral guides fully approve of this person and they like this person. They see how they're good for you. Or it could be that your guides are sending you someone who is like this. Interesting. But all relationships, whether it's family, friends, business, you should be focusing on the ones that are true and authentic and mutually respectful. And you do have this in your life in one form or another. So this is what's helping you, is to have higher, newer standards on how you see relationships, because it seems as though something went sour in the past, or you felt like you weren't sure if you could trust something again, or you were fooled or betrayed in some manner. I can see how that would get in the way. But this is what's helping you, is to focus on this instead of focusing on this. So at your core, you have the Page of Wands, which in this is called the Stoat. Looks like a weasel to me, with the Ace of Cups. For some of you, you may have someone who has a secret crush on you, and you may not even be aware of it. Or you may have a secret crush on someone else, and you haven't actually acted on it or done anything about it yet. Or you have a sudden new feeling in your heart. But I feel as though there's a message involved in here. Maybe for some of you, you have a friend approach you that lets you know that someone likes you that you had no idea liked you. Or I'm even getting, for somebody who's in a relationship, you may have someone spy on your significant other to make sure that they're not cheating on you, or that they're not doing anything dishonest, which they're not. And the person is going to come back and report that. Gosh, I hope that's not true. No one should ever have anybody spying on them. If you can't trust them, then probably shouldn't be in a relationship. But sorry, you guys, being brutally honest all of a sudden. But what I am getting here is that you feel a new feeling in your heart. You want more magic in your life. You want something to begin, or you want something to start, or you want something to pour into your life. This may take you being a little sneaky. I don't know how else to put that. Or you're feeling a little sneaky about it, like you need to scope it out a little bit more before you take a plunge of some kind or take a risk on something. But it seems to me, yeah, or you may be having people find out information for you about something. But if you do get a message, the message is pleasant. The message will be better than what you expected, or will be what you wanted. There's some kind of mischief with this. This feels very mischievous. I have no idea what you guys are doing. If you have been sneaking around, this is a good kind of sneaky. I'm looking at what looks like a weasel here. A stoat. I've never even heard of a stoat. Looks like a weasel. This weasel is reminding me a little bit of this, but this is a negative version of sneaky. This is like someone is being sneaky, as in pretending to be something that they're not. But this is just a playful kind of sneakiness or spying. I don't know. But I feel as though this is harmless, or this is not something to be worried about. It may be that someone is interested in you and is being kind of skulking around you, keeping an eye on you, or seeing where you hang out or something interesting. Well, if this didn't have to do with a relationship, I would just say something about bringing this new beginning into your life, or this new way of feeling, involves you having to be a little bit cunning. But not this kind of cunning, obviously, because that's what's hindering you, or what is your challenge. Something's brewing in you. I don't know what it is. You know more than me what kind of mischief or mischievous thoughts you have right now. Looks to me as if you're thinking about pouncing on something, or something's about to pounce on you. You'll have to let me know how that plays out for you. So, what you're coming away from. Thank goodness you're coming away from this. This is reminding me of this. This feels as though this is a challenge because this somehow just recently happened to you. You had some kind of emotional loss or feelings of disappointment, and you had to go deep within yourself. You have the Five of Cups here with the Hermit, which in this is called the Hooded Man. Yeah, the Hooded Man. You felt loss or disappointment. And you're perhaps mourning that a little bit still. But you had to go real deep in yourself on where that came from, or how. I'm getting the feeling that you wanted to know why you attracted that in the first place, or why that happened, or why. It seems as though you're working quite heavily with the law of attraction. And because of that, you've been doing a lot of deep searching on where did that come from. It feels as though it's deeper than just the present. Maybe this is a repeating situation caused by something from the way distant past, perhaps in your childhood. It goes deep. It's deep in your subconscious on why that manifested that way. And so you've been taking a good, cold, hard look at yourself, not in a negative way, just in figuring out what that was and being able to process this and let it go, so that you're no longer hanging on to this, or you're no longer inviting this in. I know that that's going to piss off some of you guys. Sorry. I didn't mean it quite the way that that sounded. It's not like you've been deliberately sitting around attracting this to yourself. But the reason why this seems like it happened to you out of nowhere and it was unjust, but you did bring this in subconsciously. And so you've been taking a good look at where that is in your subconscious and where that comes from. And with the thought in mind of transforming it so that you no longer attract this anymore. Okay, that's where you've been. As your best possible outcome, this is pretty loud and clear to me. You are determined to have emotional ethics on how you will be treated by others. Your best possible outcome is that you have full control of your emotional boundaries. You have the King of Cups with the Nine of Wands, which in this is called respect. Your best possible outcome says that you are wanting to stay cool, calm, poised, and to only allow in what is respectful. This is reminding me of what's helping you again. What's helping you is mutual respect. But this almost seems like demanding respect, but not in a loud, garish way. This is energetically demanding respect. But be careful with that. You don't want to go overboard with this, because some people are trustworthy and some people are respectful. If you come off a little too strong with this, you could scare some people away. To find a nice balance with this, where you're cool, calm, and collected, but still able to be your genuine self, and to let down your guard a little bit. It feels as though some part of you is extremely guarded because of past experiences, with possibly being disrespected. But you definitely want to ensure that your boundaries are respected, but at the same time, you don't want that to be your first impression on people. Is this, both of them look very stern right now to me. But they do look searching, like they see right into you. They can see your intentions, even if you try to hide them. So I can see how this would be your best possible outcome. This would ensure that that doesn't happen again because you won't fall for it again. But like I said, this is a really tricky balance here. You want to be this X-ray vision examiner of things, but not to the point of scaring people off. Don't they, especially in respect, he looks a little bit scary. Imagine if you're just an innocent, sweet person walking through the woods and you come across these two. It can be a little off-putting. So remember that you have the Ace of Cups at your root. You do want softness and magic and joy and cooperation. But I can see how this would be your best possible outcome if these two encountered this guy. Can you just imagine it? Along comes the sneaky, lying thief, thinking he's getting away with stuff, and he runs smack into these two guys without even realizing it. And they can see right through him and can see exactly what he's doing. These are the type of characters where if you were this guy and you came across them, there is no hope for you. You instantly have to see what you're doing because they mirror to you what you're doing, and you can't get away with it with these two. So I can see if you have this soft, loving, sweet, trustworthy person come along, you definitely are going to want to tone this down a little bit. They don't look all that friendly or cuddly. But if this guy comes along, then I can see how it would be totally appropriate for you to do this as your best possible outcome. It's just a matter of clarity. She's seeing things clearly for what they are. If this innocent person comes along, Lady Justice will treat her supremely fairly and softly. If Lady Justice has this thief come along, then she knows exactly what to do with him in order to right the situation and to bring justice to the situation. So that's your best possible outcome. In the near future, this is lovely to see. You have Lady Strength with the Page of Cups, which in this is an otter. Otters are extremely nurturing of their young and loving towards their young. They're great parents. They're also extremely playful. They love to play in the water and roll around in the water. They're extremely curious, playful creatures. And when I think of otters, I think of home life, or I think of mothers and children, or just appreciating the softness and the beauty in life. And also being protective as well. They're protective of their young. With Strength here, I'm getting that in the near future, you learn a perfect, nice balance between what we were just talking about, where you maintain your boundaries, maintain respect, self-respect, respect, mutual respect. And you can be fierce if you need to be concerning defending your home, or defending your safe place, or defending your emotional sensitivity, which I'm thinking of as the otter here. It's like the otter is with her family on the other side of the river as Lady Strength and her dragon. You have to get, or dragon, lion. You have to get through the lion as the guardian first before you can reach the other side of the stream where everything is soft and beautiful, and they don't need to be on edge or protective like that. This is a perfect balance between strength and gentleness, or trust in with natural boundaries, without having to be mistrustful, and without having to be completely naive either. It's a nice balance between both. You know when to be fierce and you know when to be gentle. You know when something is real and you know when a threat is imagined or real, is what I'm getting here. You are trusting your own perceptions more in the future because of learning from past mistakes. And making sure that your home or your family life is a peaceful place where you can draw in, where are they? Justice, fairness, peace, a positive outlook, to believe that good things are possible and they're happening. To believe in the good in the world, or in humanity, or in the universe, to believe in this. And I see you as knowing what to do at any given moment based off of how you trusting your own intuition, and also walking a nice fine balance between what I just said, which is you don't want to be overly trustful, but you don't want to be mistrustful. So this is walking that fine line in between. And that's what's coming up for you. You right now are waiting for the fruits of your labor to finally come into being. It looks as if you've been working on something, whether it's a relationship or a goal, something you've been wanting to create, or even just simply to see good luck happen more, or good fortune happen more, things to shift for the better. It seems as though perhaps recently things have slowed down, or you feel like you've been waiting for way too long, and you need things to speed up. You need things to manifest. You've been working on manifesting for quite some time now. It may be trying to tell you something. If it hasn't manifested by now, I don't know what to tell you. It may be that you've been going in the wrong direction, but I'm not necessarily getting that. I'm getting that it's only a matter of time. And that what I am getting is that you have been waiting, that for the majority of you, things are going to come to pass. You are going to have your harvest, or things are going to get better, or you're going to start seeing progress finally. But if the month passes and it's into March and things are still not moving, you may want to start putting your energy into something else. I'm sorry to put it that way, but that's what I'm getting for some of you. This is the crux month. It either makes it or breaks it. It either comes through in February or it doesn't. And if it hasn't come through on what you want to see happen by March, you may want to start putting your energy into other things instead of waiting for this to happen. But for the majority of you, I'm getting that you're finally about to have your harvest after a long time of things being slowed down, or just not progressing the way that you wanted it to. In your surroundings, something about your surroundings, whether it's people or the actual place that you're surrounded by, the reality that you're surrounded by, you feel as though you've been surrounded by the same thing for way too long and you need things to shift. You want a new world. You don't want this old world anymore, or this old pattern anymore. I'm getting that you've been fretting about something, about how this new world will never come into being. This is kind of reminding me of this. You're like, oh my, first, the farmer is hopeful. The farmer is hopeful and is saying, okay, it's only a matter of time. Any day now, things are going to sprout. Any day now, this is finally going to happen. But something about your surroundings is making you doubt this, thinking, is this ever going to happen? Am I ever going to graduate? Am I ever going to leave this old world and go into fruition, or go into my harvest, or have the outcome of all of this? It seems as though an old cycle is ending and a new one is beginning, but something about this in-between period has been making you worry. You're wondering if this new world is ever going to come into being. Or something about the old one, you're hanging on, possibly subconsciously, to old traumas or pains. And that's slowing down the process of this shift to happen. I'm getting a really good shift here, but something about your surroundings is making you doubt that this is going to finally happen. Or you're just over it. You're just over your surroundings. You want it to end. You want to graduate from this, and just the very thought that you would remain stuck in this fills you with terror almost, or despair. Your hope is that you will move towards rebirth. You have the Chariot and you have the 8 of Cups, which in this is called rebirth. Your hope is that you will move on and that you will have a rebirth. Just because things are changing doesn't mean that they're dying and that you won't have a new life. You will have a new life. You have to focus on this new life, or this rebirth. Renewal. A renewal of your soul even, or your emotions, or your dreams. To be re-inspired, or to have a new life coming to you after the old life passes away. Your hope is that you will stay focused on this new life rather than the old life. It could even be that you may need to go on some kind of a trip or a journey in order to have a renewal or a rebirth. Your general outcome is the World. This is the second World you have. I think that this is the only repeat you have. So something this month in February, this is a huge shift for you, karmically speaking. And it looks as though you're passing it with flying colors. I mean, you are on board with this. You want this. You've been wanting this shift. And you're determined to stay focused on things shifting for the better. Away from this old despair, trauma, disappointment, disillusionment, worry, stress, all of that. Emotional upsets. You're done. You don't want that anymore. Or you don't want to focus on that anymore. Not that you have deliberately, consciously been focusing on it, but unconsciously you have been focusing on it because you still feel it. You still haven't fully let go of it yet, but it seems as though this month you are determined to let go of this, or to have a huge positive shift. This isn't a little change, you guys. This is a huge change. So your old world is dying. A new world is opening up for you. Even though some part of you may worry that this old world is never going to end, it is ending, because you have these two with the World as your general outcome. Even if you tried to hang on, which I doubt you would consciously want to try to hang on to this, but sometimes it's hard when we've been hurt to let go of the fact that we've been hurt, even though we want to let go of the hurt. But you are fully moving on. You have death, which in this is called the journey. This is transformation and the death of the old in order to make way for a new life. This is a natural, timely end to an old cycle in order for it to transform into a new life. And this is literally, this is the Six of Swords. This is literally moving on. This is sailing away. First comes the death or the change or the end, and then is sailing away from the old world. Look, since you have two worlds, let's do it like this. You have two worlds. You are in your boat, deliberately choosing to sail away from the old world into the new world. And that's pretty powerful. Just remember to stay focused, clear, calm, peaceful, and believe in positive things. And believe that justice will prevail. And don't forget to put up your shields when you need to concerning schmucks. But don't become this so much that you scare off new love, which is waiting to come to you if it hasn't already come to you, because this is what is helping you. So hopefully that helped. I wish you all the best. Take care and see you soon for your bonus readings. Okay, bye.